Okay, good afternoon. This is Sherian. I am going live, and this is the first time that I've gone live using my desktop. So I wanted to see if I could get this to work. And so if you have any questions, I've even opened up the question and answer section, although I'm not sure if it's working yet. Oh, they say it's too long. I got to cut it back. Okay. So, hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to give you all a moment to sign in while I work at making my question, my comment, a little bit shorter. All right. Yes, I got it in there. Okay, this is Sherian again. I come to talk to you today about, is there a connection between the mind and the body? And the reason I thought I'd come and talk to you about the connection between the mind and the body, because the answer is yes, there is a connection between the mind and the body. And the word speaks of the connection between the mind and the body. Psychologists, uh, psychiatrists speaks of the connection between the mind and the body. Doctors, medical doctors speak of the connection between the mind and the body. And so the question is, well, what's the connection between the mind and the body? Well, here's the connection, my friend. There's a verse in the Bible that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So, however you think, you're going to become what you think about. And then there's another verse in the Bible that says that you need to guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it is going to flow the issues of life. So they're talking about really guarding your heart, really, and guarding your mind. Because when you guard your mind, you're going to protect yourself from really having to cope with some things that you wouldn't necessarily have to cope with. So it is so important to guard your mind. Then I want to tell you about another verse. And let me say this, I'm not doing a Bible class. I am talking about the relationship of guarding your mind and how it affects your body, and the importance of doing so, and the importance of how you handle your mind is going to also affect the results of what's going on with your body. There's a verse in Philippians 4, 6, and 7, and it says, I'm going to read it. It says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will keep your heart and minds through Jesus Christ. That's Philippians 4, 6, and 7. And what they're saying is this: if you don't allow the worries and the cares of this world to affect you, if you take it all to God, pray about everything, pray about everything, thank Him for all things, it's going to keep your heart and keep your mind. And here's the flip side of that. If you do not, if you're anxious, if we live with anxiety, a lot of ants and a lot of worries, a lot of fear, it's not going to keep our mind and our heart. What it's going to lead to, I can tell you what it led to for myself: hypertension. It can lead to high blood pressure. Worry about things you have no control over. Or if anybody want to log in and tell me What happened when you worry about things that you cannot control? Do you find yourself with headaches, being nervous? What happens when you obsess over things that you have no control over? Or have you ever done it? You know, some people say, I don't worry. I never worry. But I like this saying, if you trust God, why worry? And that's a very good saying. If you trust God, why worry? And if you're going to worry, why trust God? I prefer to trust God and not worry. Not saying it doesn't ever come up, but let me say this. It is so much better to give all our cares to Him than to keep it. And He said it in His Word even before, let me see, I looked it up. Even the American Psychological Foundation, they did an article on it, April 7th, 2025, about the mind and body health connection. And they were saying not only is it important for us to take care of our physical health, this article says it is so important to take care of our mental health because today's cares of this world are what cause stress. It can cause anxiety. And this article was written by Michelle Ryder. She wrote this article April 7th, and you can find it on YouTube. Like I said, it is in the American Psychological Foundation. It's on their website. It is so important that we take care of our mental health. It is so important that we do it on a day-to-day basis and all through the day. Not just a day-to-day basis, but take care of our mental health all through the day. It's important that we guard our mind even through the day. The reason being because there are so many things that can happen, that come up, and it can shock you. It can shock your spirit. And if you do not have a system in place to help you cope with it, it can lead you into an emotional spiral that spirals down. And you can spiral out of control. And instead of spiraling out of control, we want to trust God. You need a system in place to deal with the stress. You know, we had this situation that has gone on in Texas with the floods, and we are praying for the families. We're praying for all of those who've lost lives. We're praying for the survivors. We're praying for the families. Then we have wars overseas. Then we have the issue with politics. Haven't even talked about what's going on with ourselves personally. Whether you're dealing with your health, whether you're dealing with job issues, whether you're dealing with finances, relationship, family members who are going through a health crisis. There is so much going on in the world that we need to have a system in place that helps us to cope with it. We have different people who are doing workshops. We have wellness groups, even church activities, and counseling. How about counseling? Because we need to protect our mind. If we do not protect our mind, then we're going to have a problem. And what is the problem? It can be depression. It can be anxiety. It can even be anger. I heard a story today where someone told a story about this young lady who was dealing with what she felt like was so much rejection. She was dealing with so much rejection at work. She came home and she was alone. She dealt with rejection day after day after day. She lived in a town where she didn't have family around her. And one day she came home, she got dressed, changed clothes, went in the restroom, looked in the mirror, and she literally cut herself. Now, I've heard of people being cutters before, and I've even talked to a person before that was a cutter, a young person, and I asked, why would you cut yourself? And they say the cutting relieved the emotional pain. But here's the problem with cutting. Once you relieve that pain on a temporary basis, that emotional pain is still there. It's going to come back. That was just a temporary fix. So speaking of temporary fix, we have different ways that we fix this mental pain. Some of us overeat. I like food. Some of us drink. Some people use music. They use all sorts of things to deal with the emotional pain of life. But I want to tell you that you want to have a healthy way of dealing with the emotional pains of life and dealing with the different things that come up that you have no control over, because we have been designed to live in joy. God wants us to have joy. He wants us to have an abundant life. He wants us to enjoy life every day. And what I found out is this: it is easier to have an abundant life when I focus on what's good. It's easier to have an abundant life when I'm thankful for whatever is happening in life versus if I allow the pain to, what's the word? To cause me to just wallow in it. I don't want to just wallow in pain. I'd rather give it to God. I'd rather talk to him. Or it's okay to even talk to a friend about your pain. I have a few people that are in. I want to tell you how and thank you for joining. I am talking about the connection between the mind and the body. So I just want to say thank you for coming in. I'm looking at this glare that's coming in from my side window, and it's something that I'm working with. So I just want to say thank you for stopping by, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. And what else would I like to tell you guys about the mind and body connection? But the next thing I want to tell you about the mind and body connection is this. Oh, I don't see my question. Someone told me they asked me a question and I don't see it. I'm looking for your question. I don't see it. Oh, I was told I was asked a question. I don't see your question. I'm still trying to find it. I'm looking for your question. I do not see the question. I apologize. Yes, I just got a message where someone said, I am somebody. Yes, Look at this. Look at this. I just love. Okay. I'm still learning. Question: how did you become so? She didn't say that. I'm not perfect. Listen, I, let me write. I'm on this computer. This is actually working. This is actually working, guys. I'm getting kind of full. I almost want to cry, but I will not cry. Let me say this. One thing I learned about the mind and body connection is that when you feel overwhelmed, one of the first things I need to do is breathe. I need to practice breathing. Yes. Okay, I'm working. I want to speak to you all. Thank you all for coming in again. And I want you to know that I appreciate your being here. And again, we're talking about, is there a mind body connection? Okay. So, would anyone like to say hello? Like I'm down to four people. The important thing is that I'm on. And, and also, the important thing that I'm learning to share with people about the mind and body connection. Because that is something. Okay, cancel. I'm still learning. I want to put this in the chat to show you all where I got this information. Thank you for signing on, Candace. She's one of my favorite fans. That's my daughter. And so thank you guys for being here and being a my first live using my computer. And it's about the mind and the body connection. And yes, there is a connection. And we will be back for part two. Have a great day.